So we are going to learn something called as Pyspark, which is a mixture of Python and Spark. Okay. So what happens? It is a interface. Okay. Or I can tell it as a API, application programming interface between Python and Spark. So Spark has some capabilities. Spark has capabilities of parallel processing of the data and also the big data. Okay. So this is the capabilities of a Spark. So Spark, have some, inbuilt languages. Okay. So that is the problem, to go and learn, all the, language, because Spark will have, its own language. Another tool will have its own language. We can't go and, learn all the languages. That's why what we will do is that we will learn something called as PySpark, where we will use, our own interface that is nothing but the Python language. Because Spark has Go language. Now we'll have to learn again the Go language. So that is not possible. So what we do is that we learn something called as PySpark, where we can use the Spark, features. We can use what? Spark features using what? Python. We can use, can I write like this? We can use Spark feature with what? With the Python. Okay. So now what will happen? So for that, why we as an ETL, tester, which is, ETL tester automation, or, a big data tester, or a, ETL, data engineer, why they want to, know these things, PySpark is that because, we have, all these three, job requires, PySpark. It's very, popular, API. It's like we cannot call it as a language, but it's very, we have to learn its own syntax is there, and it's very powerful for parallel processing. Billions and millions of records are there. That's why we learn something called as PySpark. So we create something called as data frame. It's like a table. It will have its the rows also. It will have its column also. Okay. So now how to create a data frame? Data frame, let's suppose there's a file. Okay. Understand like this, there's a source and there's a target. Okay. So now the source can be what? If you have done ETL testing, you will have an idea. Source can be a
Yeah.
file, source can be a DB, right? Or it can be an
Source is
XML.
like
No.
one type of database. File, yeah, file, XML,
It can be a file,
database.
it can be a database, it can be XML, it can be an Excel, yes or no? It can be a
Mm.
file. A file can have format like CSV, comma separated value, pipe separated value, or it can be Avro file format. It can be Parquet file format. Yes or no? All
Mm.
these are what? File formats. These are the source. The target can be again the same. It can be a file. It can be a TB. It can be a file type I'm taking is XML. It can be a Excel file. Yes or no? Anything, or it can be the target. So these are the sources. Generally, this can be a target. Okay. Now the problem is, let's suppose source is a file. So there can be what kind of validations? If ETL testing, there can be what? File to DB validation. There can be DB to the DB validation. If source and target both are DB, then or DB versus file. Yes or no? Or
Yeah.
what? So these are the, any, one more it can be, file versus DB versus file. So all these, combinations can be there, right? Source is
Mm.
a file, target is a database, source is a database, target is a file. Database and target both are, their source and target both are database, source and target both are file. So now not only this, now what happens, there's something called as cloud technology scheme, right? There are three kinds of cloud platform: Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud. Have you heard about that? Yes or no? Yes. So now what will happen is that now there's something called as on-premises. Do you have any idea what is on-premises?
On premises is local, right?
Yeah, locally, which is whichever software is installed. Yes, right. Like Oracle is installed in our system, or SQL Server is installed in our system. Data is getting migrated from what? From Oracle or SQL Server to Azure SQL, or Snowflake. So these are cloud-based software databases. So now what will happen is that this kind of, challenges are there to, verify. If you do manually, if I give you, a condition, let's suppose I give you, this is an interview question, scenario one. A source is a, is a file. Okay. It's a huge file, millions of billions of record is there. Target is a DB. Okay. Now, how will you do the validation? So what the people, generally give the answer. First is what? We'll export the data from the file and the DB. Like generally we'll export the data from the DB into what? Into Excel. So this will become my source one, and source two will become what? Is nothing but the Excel, and we will do what? We will do Excel to Excel validation, yes or no? Using what? VLOOKUP, yes or no? And so this is, one of the, validation we can, do. Else what we do? We tell what? We'll create a temporary table and load load the data from where? From the file to the DB and do what? DB to DB validation. This is one, one of the way to do the, validation. So now what we are going to do is that we'll not do, all those things. What we'll do is that we'll
Vikram,
create data. Yeah,
your voice is breaking basically.
there is some problem from your end, I think. Okay. Let me just, let me know if still you face any challenges. Okay. So am I audible now? So
Yeah.
so first thing is that we'll create, a data frame because these are having challenges. What are the challenges? If can you tell me? What is the challenge if I create a temp table and load the data in the file from DB and do DB to DB validation? What is the first? What is the challenge here? We need access, right, to create the, access to create the database. Do you agree with me? Also, DB, resource will be utilized. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
And here, what is the, challenge if I do Excel to Excel validation? Can you tell me?
We need to know the formulas.
So limitation is there, right? If you have, 10 millions of data, how will you do? You cannot export it into, Excel, right? 10,000 is the capacity in one sheet, right? Now you are getting a million and billion of records. So it is not possible, right? Excel will hang. It has, data, limitations. So this is not possible. So we went to a technique called as data frame. Okay. So what we do, we create the data frame. What is the technique? Can you tell me? We'll create the data frame for the file. This is, let's suppose, data frame one we will create. Okay. This is, a data frame one we will create. GF1. And we'll create another data frame two. Again, we will create for the DB. Or similarly, all the scenarios, no, all the scenarios we can, whatever we have, seen, for that, any data frame we can create. We can create a data frame for the file, and we can create a data frame for the database and do the comparison. Okay. Or we can create the data frame for the database to database, database to file, file to file. For everything, we can create the what, guys? Data frames and do the validation. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Create the data frame and do the validation. Do you agree with me? Yes or no? So now what will happen is that
Where we will create the data frame, like in the code.
yeah, in the code only. I'll show you. Okay. So now I'm telling you the techniques. Next, I'll do that. Okay. Let's suppose, if I have to, create a data frame, how can we create a data frame? Okay. So what will happen is that, first we have to install the Pyspark. Once we have installed the Pyspark, we have to create a Spark session. So first of all, from Pyspark.sql module, we'll import the Spark session and then we'll create a Spark session. This Spark is like, entry point. Okay. There's something called as entry point, to use the Spark capabilities, we have to create a Spark session. If we don't create this Spark session, we cannot use these Spark features. How to create this Spark session? We have to remember the syntax. Okay. Spark equals to Spark session dot builder dot app name. Any name we can give dot get or create. This will create a Spark session. After creating a Spark session, we create a data frame. How we create a data frame? Spark.read.format. And then we will give the format is nothing but the JDBC dot option. This is now, if we want to see the header thing, we can write the dot option header equals to true, header comma true, or if I want the schema, then I can write those features also. Okay, there's something called as dot option, infer schema, we can write here dot option. You can write here infer schema equals to true. So this kind of options we can put. So this options is like, let's suppose I wanted to see the schema, so we have written infer schema equals to true. Okay. Similarly, we have to return what dot load and this particular file and path. So this is how our data frame is created. Let me just show you how our data frame looks. Let it get executed. Yeah, so it got executed, and we got some error. Let me just we'll have to see why we are getting this error. Okay, let me just see, because I am also executing after that day now. Yeah, so let me just see. This path is wrong. Okay, we have to give the folder path. Okay, what is the path? This is practice set path. So just copy this path. Okay, take this absolute path and just here write cd and give this path. We have to be in that particular path if I want to execute. Let me now we are in this path. Let me just execute now. Yeah. So we are getting, some, issues. Let me just see what is the issue. So we'll get, this kind of, issues in Pyspark sometimes. So, but we'll just, see line 8, is the issue. So what is the, issue in line 8? We'll just, see. So it's telling what spark.read.format, and then we have given the format as, JDBC. Why we will give? We are not, using JDBC. The file format is CSV. Dot option, header is, true. And then dot option infer schema equals to true, and then df dot show. Yeah, this is the correct data frame which is created. So this is from the file. If I want I have to use this particular format. The format JDBC we will use when we want to make a connection with the database. That also I'll show you. As of now, we have created a data frame from this particular file. This is EMP1. This is a particular file format. From this file format, I have created this, data frame. So to create the data frame, we have to follow this syntax. Okay, first we have to create from Pyspark.sql module, we have imported this Spark session. And then we have created a Spark session. How we have created a Spark session? Spark session.builder.appname get.create. And then we have created a data frame, spark.read.format.option. Header is true and our info schema is true. And then dot load this particular path. And if you want to see the data, I have written df.show. Any doubt till here? What do you think, Pallavi? Can you, create a data frame if someone will tell you from a file?
Yeah.
So what is the format? Can you tell me this lines? Spark dot read dot format, the particular format of the file dot option. This header, if I want to see this header of this file, I will write header is true. Infer schema, if I want to see the schema, dot load the path of the file. Any doubt here?
No.
Are you clear till this much?
Yeah.
Now, if I want the count of the records, now you'll see how much powerful this, this data frame is there. See, you will see how many methods are there. df dot, what you have to do?
Count.
count. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes or no? If you want to, see the count, you can just, print this. Okay. Yes or no? Are you getting the record? 14? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So now this is your, data frame, which you are seeing the value. This is the count of the data frame, how many, number of records are there. Yes or no?
Mm.
So I'll show you some more things here. Let's suppose there's a print schema. If you want to see the schema of the data frame, you can just, write df dot, print schema. So this will show the schema. Let me just show. Are you able to see the schema? What is it telling? Employee number is string and ename column, job column, manager, hire date, commission, department number. Yes or no? This is called a schema. There's something called a schema check in ETL testing. So this is the
Will we
power.
define that schema in the CSV or does it take randomly, Vikram?
No, it takes by itself. Okay. We don't have to, if we want, we can, define the schema, but as of now, it takes by itself.
Okay.
Okay. So did you understood, this very important concept, how to create a, data frame? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Are you clear till this much? Listen.
Yes.
Now, if you have understood, this is one data frame. Now, from this data frame, these are the, columns here. If I want to select a particular column, let's suppose from this data frame, I want to select, a column called as, just, let's suppose I want to select department number. So what I will write here, df dot, select what I have written, department number. And I don't want distinct. I just want to see this, department number. So can I see this? Let me just, close all these things, print a statement. Let us just see only the department number. Somewhat, nearby to SQL. You have heard about SQL? Have you executed any query in SQL? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Multiple queries. Do you remember? So in SQL, how we create the query? So I have to select the, department number from a table. So what we'll write? Select department number from EMP. Yes or no? So this will, select the department number. Here we are doing df dot select department number dot show. Yes or no? If I want multiple columns, how can I do? df dot select. And let's suppose I want a column department number also. And also a column called as EMP number. So double quotation always you have to write. Okay.
Yeah.
Ename and then show. So which are the two columns we'll see here? Department number as well as the employee name. So
Yeah.
somewhat like, SQL. If I want to select the department number and employee number, what will write? Where will write? Like ename, comma, department number from EMP. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Now, let's suppose I select, particular, on department number and it's, distinct department number. So what I will write, select department number and I'll close this and I'll write what? Dot distinct. Yes or no? Dot show. So distinct department number in case I wanted to see. So I've selected the department number and their distinct value and I'm seeing that. Yes or no? Are you able to see distinct department number?
Yeah.
So do you remember in SQL how we used to see the distinct department number? Can you tell me the query?
Yeah, select distinct department number from employee.
Yes or no? This is how we, used to write SQL, somewhat similar to, SQL. Yes or no?
Yeah.
But the benefit is what? Any file, any database, we can just create the, data frame and do the validation. Yes or no? This is a, a selection of, columns from a particular, data frame. Now, there's something called as, if I want to, select, a particular, filter, okay, and I want to filter that record. So let's suppose I want to, select, department number, and then, from this, and then I want to, filter, okay, so filter that, data frame, department number equals to 10. So from this, we are trying to, select this, department number. From there, I wanted to, get only department number 10. So what I am trying to do, are you able to understand? From this, we are selecting something called as what? Department number 10. Are you able to understand? Yes or no?
Mm.
So are you able to see? So am I getting the department number 10 only?
Yeah.
Yes or no? So let's suppose I want to see the department name. Okay. So what I will write here, department number and the department name. So what I will write here? Or can I write here? Department name, not employee name. So let's suppose there's a table column called as employee name. Can I write here?
Mm.
So no, these are the employees in department number 10. So this is so somewhat like where. Do you agree with me? If I wanted, a SQL, how we would have written? Can you tell me?
Select
Select
department,
department number, comma, e-name
employee
from
name,
employee, where what?
employee
Department
where
number.
department number equal to 10.
This is the query. But
Mm.
how we are writing in, Pyspark? Select first the data frame, then select all the columns, whatever we want to select. Dot filter, where we are writing what? We can write where also, but I have written, filter, and this data frame, and then the column equal to not equal to equal to. Are you able to see? It's not equal to. It is what? Equal to 10. Do you agree with me? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Let's suppose I take, data frame dot, select all both this column, department number and, and instead of filter, I want something called as, where. Can I use it? Can let us just try. Distinct, I don't want it. Okay. So instead of filter, I'm trying this time with the where. Okay. So you have seen either we can use filter or we can use where here. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
So you can now create a data frame and you can, select the columns and you can filter the data. Do you agree with me?
So basically, we can query on files as well, right? In
Yes.
database, we can query on the tables, but here we can query on files, whatever we can query on data, whatever the format of the data is, like whether it is CSV, Excel, DB, XML.
Not only that, even the cloud platform, right? If data is going into cloud platform. So what will happen in the cloud platform? Have you, seen the cloud platform? I think I have shown you once. Let me just show you again. This is a cloud platform, okay? We are going to learn Azure. AWS is similar to that, but majorly we learn, Azure. This is, the URL, portal.azure.com. If you log in here, this is called as a cloud platform. Yes or no? So what will happen? In this cloud platform, it will have its own, database. It will have its own data factory. It will have its own data bricks. Now, what is data factory, data bricks, Azure SQL, all those things we will learn later. As of now, what I'm telling is that this is, cloud platform. So to log in into Azure cloud platform, first thing you have to know, you have to write what? Portal.azure.com. That's all. Once you write portal.azure.com, you get, you have to register here with a debit or credit card. 1 month you will get the free subscription. My is paid subscription. I keep everything, as a paid. But you can take a 1 month free subscription. Only you have to give, 2 rupees, subscription. Here, for me also now 1 month, free subscription, and this time I have, utilized, but I take, sometimes paid subscription. As of now, this is, free subscription as a subscription. If when you go here, in this, cloud platform, there's something called as, Azure. There's so many, services it is providing. Let's suppose, SQL Server. So this is what SQL Server, there will be, so many, other, databases. Let's suppose, if I wanted to, create a SQL Server, I can create the Azure SQL Server. So I will do that, those things, later. But what I wanted to tell you, let's suppose from Oracle, the data is going into, this particular, Azure SQL Server. Okay. All these are, when 1 month you will get some credits, yeah, around 1,000, I think, points. That time you can use free of cost. Later on, for every service, they
What
will charge.
format the data will be cloud? What format the data will be in this cloud?
See, there will be lot of, formats. Okay. This is, one of the, format. What I'm telling is that when I create a, Azure SQL, let's suppose, then it will be in the database. Let's suppose if I want in a file format, okay, then it will be in the file format. Okay. So what is the, way you are utilizing those? So it will depend. Okay. It can be in the form of, when you go to your cloud platform. Okay. Because nowadays, everything will move into cloud now or then, after, few years, everything will get migrated. It has started. So when I'll teach you, Azure, cloud platform, there is something called as ADLS, that is called as Azure Data Lake. Okay. And what will happen is that here data are stored, okay, in the form of files. A file can be CSV or, any other file format. There is something called as Azure SQL. So this is what, this is the, cloud database, okay, where you can have the data. Yes or no? This cloud database where you can have, cloud platform where we will have the, cloud-based data. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Tell me, any more doubt? So this is, when data is getting migrated to cloud platform, again, what will happen? We have to, export it from the cloud, cloud database is there. Let's suppose there's a cloud database, okay, which is nothing but Azure SQL, okay, and you have a local. Let's suppose there's a SQL server. Both are different. Okay, SQL server local and Azure SQL is, this is cloud-based database tool. This is, on premises. Let me just, for better clarity, let us just take it as Oracle. Now when the migration will happen, it will be difficult to, check it, manually, because we'll have to export it into Excel and do all those things. Instead of that, we can create the data frame from the, cloud platform, and one data frame from what? From the on-premises, and do the validation. Yes or no? Do the validation. This is how we will, proceed. So we will learn one by one. So I'm telling you the, powerfulness of this, data frame, why we are learning.
So at what scenarios we will use Spark in automation testing?
Yeah, so many scenarios, one is that your source is a file, target is a DB, we can go, and vice versa. Of course, for all the 4 scenarios which I told you. Next is from on-premises to cloud or cloud to on-premises, then we can use it. Yes, sir. For any possible validations, what is possible in, ETL testing, any source and target, we can create the data frame and do the validation. Any scenario, all the 4 scenarios I have given.
Okay.
You can create the data frames and do the validation. That much, headache is not there, exporting and importing and all those things, data limitation. Yes, sir. Are you getting some understanding? Yes or no? So next is, we'll learn something called as filter. Filter we have learned, okay. There's something called as operators. So for operator from Pyspark dot, SQL dot functions, we have to import something called as call. Have you heard about that? Column, this is a call, function where we can use it for our, when we use, special, methods or some filter condition. Let's suppose I want to, filter the data based on the department number. I can use call, and then I can use department number. Department number equals to 10. Okay. And I want to put any, other, condition. Then I can use, AND operator. Yeah. And I can use, any other, condition. Let's suppose the ename. Yeah. Ename equals to, Smith. So two filter conditions from two column using AND operator I am doing. And I want to see it, so I will show. Let us just see the output. Yes or no? Yes. Column object is not, callable. So which is that column object which is not, callable? Any, yeah, let me just see anything we have done. df dot filter call department number equals to 10 and call, ename equals to, or equal to, Smith dot show. Okay. I think I have missed one, bracket here. That is what I am thinking. Yeah. Let me just see. Column object is not, callable. Which is that column object which is not callable? DEPT, ename. I don't think, any spelling mistake we have done. Let me just, check which is the spelling mistake we have done. Yeah, df dot filter call department number equals to 10 and call ename equals to Smith. Let me just, take it in a, separate, data frame. Let's suppose I take this value in data frame 1 and let me just see this value data frame 1 dot, I want to, see this value. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm getting some error. Data frame dot filter, and then one bracket is there, and then some bracket I am doing some, syntactical error, and then call department number equal to 10, and
Can you
one more
can you
call.
remove end and yeah? Can you remove end and can we fill like on one column? Can we do first initially?
Just give me 1 second. Huh? Just let me just try once again. There's some bracket things which we have to always be careful. If we don't give brackets carefully, sometimes it shows some syntactical error. Yeah, it fine, right? It's fine, right? So there's no data like that, where, department number equals to 10 and ename equals to Smith. But the query got executed, right? So we have to, this is the bracket for filter, okay? df dot filter. And this is closing here, okay? There was some, bracket I have not given that time correctly. This is a bracket I have given for, column, and which is closing here. If you see here, this is a bracket for, I have started for this, column, which is ending here. This is the bracket for department number equals to 2. Similarly, we're starting a bracket for column, which is, equals to, this is closing here, and then ename equals to Smith. So this is what is the code for multiple, multiple operators. If I am using this AND operator, if I want, I can use guys, OR operator, and we can, do that. But for that OR operator, instead of AND, we have to use a pipeline. That's all is the difference. That's all. So this is, on the either we want what guys, the department number equals to 10, or I wanted the name as, Smith. Yes or no? Yes. Am I clear? Am I, making you clear how to use, this kind of operators, which are nothing but the, logical operator and or not. Yes or no?
Yeah.
It is very simple, just like we do in SQL, no? select star from table where department number equals to 20 or department equals to 10, or what happened? Ename equals to Smith. Similarly, what we'll do, df dot filter, and we have to give a bracket and which we have to close. And in that, I'm using something called as call, and then department number equals to 10. And this is a or symbol, and then column ename equal to Smith. And if I want to see the data, I've written so. Any doubt here?
No. Fine. Yeah.
So this is how we will, proceed. So let us stop it today, okay? And we'll continue from here, tomorrow. Let me just show you about, Pyspark, material. I don't know you have seen or not. So there's something called as Pyspark material. This is our Pyspark material. So here you have to, come here and see, how to create the, a data frame. I have written, here, create the data frame from a particular file. And then we are learning something called as some basic, SQL, where we are selecting the, columns, or, using the or operator and operator. These are, written in, everything is, nicely I have written here in the material. You want to, go, you can go one by one and see the topics, what we have, covering from here. Let's suppose I want to filter the data. So the data frame dot filter, data frame, data frame department number goes to 10. So again, these are the ways to, filter the data. So, but I want to, don't go by, everything by notes. I want to write the code at my own, and later I can show you these things are already present in the notes. Yes or no? Yes or no? Are you getting
Yes.
some idea? Yes or no? This is the or operator. Yes. So we will, continue from tomorrow on the same topics, and we'll proceed.